Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today my topic for this video is the functional programming. So in Python, if we discuss about the functional programming, so in the functional programming, main function is the map functions, reduce, filters, lambda. So here I'm going to cover in this video. First, I'll start with the lambda function. Then I will move to the map, reduce, and filter. So first start with the lambda functions. So in Python, if we use like the def keywords, like we see that during defining of normal functions, we use the def keywords to define a normal function, as we see in our previous videos and previous function videos. But in case of lambda function, we can define function in one line without keyword, like the without def keyword, without any name. So you can see here, we can define the lambda function without any name and def keywords. Like this is a short form. So you can see here, lambda function are inline and anonymous functions. Those are defined without any name and without any def keywords. So if we discuss like we compare the traditional functions in Python, then the def keyword is mandatory and name of the function is mandatory. But this is the more compact form to define a function, to create a function without name, without def keywords. So you can see here, this is the syntax. This is the syntax for the lambda function. So first is the lambda. This is the keywords to create a lambda function, then the argument, and then the expression. And we can pass any number of argument in the lambda function. So there is no limit in case of argument, but we just need to pass one expression, only one expression, and argument we can pass any number of arguments. So let me show you the simple example of the code. So here you can see here we are using the lambda keyword here to define this function. And this is the argument, x is the argument. And now we have the expression, we are multiplying the argument with 2. This is a simple lambda function. You can see here, this one is the simple lambda function. Here basically we are multiplying with 2. And if I call this function, so let me call this function. If I run this code, here first like this, defining the lambda function, then I am creating a object to call this function. And now I'm passing the 4 here while calling this function. You can see here, this lambda function I'm calling here. And so as you can see here, I'm passing the 4 here while calling this function. Like this is the function object name, then I'm passing the 4 and it's returning the 8 in the output because we pass attribute as a 4 and then this attribute is multiplied with 2. So this way, like the lambda function is work behind the scene. This is the very simple example of lambda function. We can define a lambda function in one line. You see here, this is the simple form of lambda function. Here we are defining the lambda function in same line. You can see here, like the lambda keyword, then the attribute, then expression to multiply the attribute by 2, all things in one line. So this is the beauty of lambda functions. Like we can create a complex function in one line. And let me create little complex function here with one condition. So here I'm creating a function again with lambda keyword. You can see here, I'm passing 2 values, x and y, 2 attribute here. And here I'm put one condition. If x is greater than y, then it return the x, otherwise else it return the y. So this is basically returning the maximum value. And this is the object for this function. And if I call this function, here I'm calling this function and passing 2 values, 4 and 2. And we can see here like the 4 is a max value, is a greater value as compared to the 2. If we run this, you can see here, if we run this, it return the 4. So you can see here, this is the lambda function with condition. So you can see here, like this is the more compact way and more short way to write a function, to write the code in Python. So let me move to the next example is the anonymous function. So in case of anonymous, we just need to pass lambda function. Like we need to pass lambda function in a traditional functions like the normal function. First, we create a normal function. You can see here the def keyword, function name, and this is the simple function. And we are returning a anonymous function here, lambda, then attribute, and then expression. And in the expression, first value is the attribute we pass through lambda, and second is the attribute we pass in the normal function. You can see here, this is the normal function value. And we can call this function in multiple ways. So let me show you the first. So here basically, first I'm calling this function. You can see here, I'm calling this function name. and then passing value 3. You can see here 3. So n value is basically 3. And this is the object for this function. And now I'm calling here the anonymous function like the callable object with 6. And it returned the 2 because 6 is the x value here in the lambda function, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So this way, like the lambda function is worked behind the scene as a anonymous function. And we can use the same function for divide by 2s also. Like we just need to change this value. Here I'm passing the 2, and here I'm passing the 8. It's like calling the function, simple function with 2. So n here is the 2, and then calling the callable object here with 8. So x value is 8 and n value is 2. So it's returning the 4. So this way, like we can use the lambda function inside the traditional function also. Let me move to the functional programming other methods. So functional programming basically provides us a capability to write the compact, simple, short, and optimal code. You can see here in the functional programming, we can use the optimal or fast inbuilt methods like the map, reduce, filter. These are the inbuilt methods in Python, and we can use this function as a part of functional programming. And let me start with the map function here. This is the example of map function. Basically, map function, we can pass a function and attributes. Like the attribute should be iterable object. In the map function, like this is the, for example, map function, and we need to pass 2 values here. First is the function. This is a prerequisite for the map function. Like in map, first item should be a function. Second item is iterable object. For example, a list or tuple. We can pass this kind of iterable object into the map. And then map, apply those functions, pick those functions, and then apply all element of the iterable object. So that's the purpose of mapping. Basically, it apply a function on each item of the iterables. So let me show you the syntax of map. You can see here, this is the syntax. Map, under the map, first attribute is function. You can see here, we are passing the function here, then iterable object. Iterable object, either the list or tuple, we can pass any iterable object. And here in the next example, we are using the map with lambda function. So here, instead of simple function, we are passing the lambda function in below example. So let me show you first this diagram. This is nice diagram for the map functionality. So you can see here, first using a list. You can see here, ctc underscore lax. This is the list name, and we are passing the value 3, 2, 5, 4, 9, 8, 17, 15, 32, 31. This is the items under this list. We are creating this list. Then we are calling the map here. You can see here in the bottom. So you can see here we are using the map function, map. Then we have the lambda function, lambda. This is the attribute x, and we are increasing x value by 4. We are adding 4 in each value. Here you can see we adding 4 in x. So this is the expression under the lambda. This one is the attribute, and this one is the expression. So we are adding 4 in value. So this is our function. Like we are passing a attribute, then we are adding 4 in the, and then we are passing the iterable object. You can see here, this is the list. This is the same list we create here. ctc in lax, ctc underscore lax. We are passing this list under the map. This is the like the map function. You can see here lambda. So this is the map method, and this is the lambda function. You can see here, here to here is the lambda. You can see here, this is the lambda, and this one is the iterable object. Further, we are using list here to return those output as a list. And once we execute this, like once we call this function, so this basically increase each value. Like as map is work, map basically apply this function, this lambda function on each value of this iterable object, this list. So here you can see here in this list, first item is 3, and if we add 4 here, you can see here 4, then the output is 7. Here 2, if we add 4 here, then the like the modify output is 6. And in case of 4 is 9, in case of 4 is 8, in case of 9 is 13, in case of 8 is 12, 17, 21. So you can see here, this is the way how lambda function is worked and how map is worked to apply the lambda on each item of iterable. So let me repeat the things. Here I'm using the map method, and in the map method we have the prerequisite, like the first attribute should be a function. Here this is the lambda function I'm passing here, and this is the like the second attribute should be a iterable object. This is the list, and basically map is applying this function each item of this list, and this like the expression under this function is the we adding 4 in each value, and same way like we are adding 4 in each item of the list, and this is the our new list. You can see here this one is the new list after adding 4. So let me show you the code. You can see here I'm defining a list here, ctc underscore lags, same thing, similar to our picture. You can see here ctc lag. Then I'm using here the map function map, and under the map we have the lambda function. This is the first attribute. Second is the iterable object, this list, ctc underscore lag we are passing here. So here like the behind the scene map is applying this lambda function on each item of this ctc, and output you can see here I'm printing the output. You can see here 7 6, so same output similar to above with 7 6 9 8 13 12 21 19. So all items of the list is incremented by 4. So this is the way how map method is work. Basically in the map we apply function on each item of the iterable, and then we modify each item accordingly. And next one is the filter. So let me show you the filter part. In case of syntax, like filter also has the same syntax. In the filter also we need to pass first attribute is a function, second attribute is the iterable object. You can see here this is the syntax, filter bracket function and iterable object, similar to map. And one requirement is changed here, like the function should be with the bool conditions, like the function output should be true or false in two case. And it basically the functionality of filter method here, like it filter out the items from the iterable, and it return the items for which function value is true. It basically filter out the items from the iterable based upon the condition. If condition is true, then it return the items. And same thing mentioned here, like in the filter function we can pass a function. So first attribute is a function, and this is the prerequisite function look for a boolean conditions, like there should be a condition and a iterable object, for example the list, and it filter out all the item from, you can see here like it filter out all the item from which function condition is true. So let me show you with the help of diagram. So you can see here this is the diagram, and we are defining a list, income underscore million. This is the list, and these are the values under the list: 10 25 40 55 70 85 in millions. These are the list, and this is the our filter. You can see here this one is the filter method, and under the filter method first we are passing a lambda function. This is the attribute under the lambda function, and this is the expression. From here to here, this is the expression under the lambda, and we are checking if income is greater than 30, it will return true. If income value is greater than 30, it return false if income is less than 30. And here we are passing the iterable object list, which we create here. You can see here this list we define here, and now we are passing this list here. So this also work in the similar way, like this function is apply on each item of the iterable, but it filter out the items based upon the true condition. So you can see here first item in our list is 10, then it compare 10 with 30, and as we know like the 10 is less than 30, it return the false. In case of 25, second item in our list is 25, and then we compare with 30, it return the false. Then next item is 40, and we can say like the 40 is greater than 30, now it's returning the true. Then we have the 55, and 55 also greater than 30, it's returning the true. And same case in case of 70 and 85, you can see here. And for the true values, it return the true filter value as a output. So this is the way how the filterage work behind the scenes. Let's apply the function on the each item of the iterable and then filter out the items based upon the condition. Let me move to the code part. So here are the codes similar to above diagram. So here first I'm defining a list income underscore million, and these are the value like 10, 25, 40, 55, 70. These are the values under this list. And here I'm applying the filter. So you can see here, this is the filter method. And here I'm passing the function as a first attribute for the filter. And second is the iterable object, means this list, which we define here. We are passing this list here. And based upon this condition, as shown here, like based upon this condition, it returning the values. You can see here, first value is 40, then 55, then 70, then 85. Like based upon the condition, if condition is match, condition is true, then it returning the output. And here also we are using the list to convert the final output as a list. And next function is the reduce. So let me move to the reduce. And one prerequisite for the reduce, we need to import the functional tool library. This library we need to import while using the reduce. And reduce also take function as a first attribute, similar to map and filter. We need to pass function as a attribute in the reduce also, and iterable object as a second argument. So syntax would be the same. In case of map also, we pass the function, then iterable object. In case of filter, we pass the function, iterable object. In case of reduce, again, we pass a function, then the iterable object. But the things is changed here, like it perform a repetitive operation over the pairs of iterables. Like in the iterable, it start from 1, and then it perform the operation, repeating operation pairwise. First operation for the first pair, then for second, third, fourth pair. This way it works. And which define in the pass function, like the operation is defined as per the function we pass under the reduce, and it return finally one output, like the one value as the output. In the previous, like the in previous cases in filter and map, we see output also in iterables, output also like the multiple items in the output. But here in reduce case, it reducing the multiple items to single item. That's the name of also reduce. That's why it's the name of also reduce, because it's reducing the size from multiple input to single output. Like in iterable, we have the multiple input and output is a single output. So that's why its name also reduce. So let me explain with the help of this image. So in this image, you can see here, first we are defining a list income million, income underscore million. This is the list name, and we are passing the value like the 5, second value is 8, second value is 8, then 10, then 20, then 50, then 100. So this is the list which contain this number of values. And in the reduce, you can see here, this is the reduce function method. And in the reduce, first we are passing our function. You can see here, this is the lambda function here we are passing. And these are the x, y are the two attribute we are passing here. And in the expression part, in the expression, we are adding two values like these attribute, we are adding both in x plus y. We are adding both the pairs. And in the case of iterable object, we are passing the list income underscore million, same things. Like we define the list here, then we are passing here. So how this work behind the scene, like it start from here, like in first case, x is 5 and y is 8, and it's adding the both. So output would be 13. Then in next case, x is 13 and y is 10. This way, then 13 and 10, 23. Then in next case, x is 23 and y is 20. So then output would be the 43. Then in next case, like the next iteration or next pair, like the x is 43 and y is 50. So output would be 93. And in move to next pair, then x is 93 and y is 100. Then final output is 190. And this is the final output reduced by our reduce function. This is the final output written by our reduce functions. Let me show you the code part. So this is the code example similar to above image. We are importing the reduce from this functional tool library, and then we are defining a list, and in list name is the income underscore million, and in the list we are passing the values like 5, 8, 10, 20, 50, 100, and then we are using the reduce. You can see here, this is the reduce method, and under the reduce method, first we are passing a lambda function here. You can see here, this is the lambda function. In the lambda function, similar to above image, we are passing two attributes, and then we are adding these two attributes as our expression. And here, this is the iterable object, like this is the list we are passing here. And if we are printing the final output, you can see here, 193 is the final output. So this is the same output as we explained during this image. So this is all about the functional programming. And in this video, we thoroughly discussed the lambda, map, reduce, and filter. So if you want to use this code, you want to practice this code of your end, you can find this code from the description of this video. I will add this colab link into the description of this video. And thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe my channel. And thank you.